My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of the Artifice Girl. And this is a movie I had no idea existed. I heard nothing about this movie. But then one day someone commented on one of my videos that I should watch it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not seeing any new release this weekend, so I'll give it a try now. And I did. And it's a fascinating movie because I do love some elements of it, but I think it ends up being just fine. It feels like an extended Black Mirror episode, but let's get into it. First with the cast, because I thought this aspect of the movie was very strong, and my favorite performance goes to Franklin Rich, who not only acts in this movie, but he also wrote and directed it. And I was very impressed by his work here. You know, when he's quiet and when he's keeping to himself, he does a great job. When he starts talking, he really sells you on everything. I thought his delivery was always perfect. I just thought he did a lot with this character, so I was really impressed by his work here. You also got David Gerend, who I thought does a good job. Sandra Nichols, I liked as well. Tatum Matthews, I think, does a good job with the material she's given to work with in the first two acts. The last act, I thought her performance was lacking the nuance she previously had. And Lance Henriksen, I know him. He's the one actor of this movie I actually knew beforehand. He's Bishop. But I thought he gave the weakest performance here. He has the most to work with, and lots of this movie is reliant on his performance, and I just do not think he delivered. But when we're talking about this movie and its story, it's very small scale and it's completely reliant on conversations. This movie is just people talking about AI in a very grounded manner, and that's what I liked about it. You know, there's not much going on plot wise, but in its simplicity, this movie does work, and I think it explains everything in a very concise manner. And there's lots of interesting ideas that are more relevant now than ever before. You know, it's not like you watch this movie and you're like, AI is going to take over the planet and they're going to start an uprising against the human race. No. It's grounded in the fact that it's entirely based on programming, but just how that programming could evolve and expand. And I think it's kind of terrifying at that level. There's lots to chew on in this movie. And, you know, like, they're also using technology to bring back dead actors in movies to de-age people in a very realistic manner, and how that technology could be used for AI eventually. I don't know. I just think there is lots to this movie. It is very rich thematically. But my favorite kind of movies are like movies like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, because that has a very unique story. The characters are complex, and there's a lot going on thematically. And the three tie in perfectly. There's enough to work with the characters here, but it mainly exists at a strictly conceptual level. You know, like, I don't really feel the need to go back to this movie because it's smart people having smart discussions, but just my own personal preference, I need a bit more to chew on. I need more story and more characters. And if the movie doesn't deliver on that, then at least a bit more stylistically. And that's just not this kind of movie. So I can appreciate everything it's doing, but it's just not a movie I see myself going back to very often. It is just ideas being talked about. And the last act didn't really work for me. I'm going to try to explain this the best I can without giving too much away. But there's a way that the AI evolves at a certain point, and I just don't really buy the transition there. It kind of threw me off for the rest of the movie, and the last act I feel like suffered as a result. I just didn't buy into what the movie was trying to sell me. And I should also say, as much as I do like this movie, and it's like a breath of fresh air compared to so many movies out right now, it's still not anything new. Like, I'm watching Black Mirror for the first time right now, and it's very similar to that show. It's very similar to Ex Machina. It's very similar to Blade Runner. These aren't ideas. Yes, they are ideas, but they aren't new ideas. It's a subject that's been explored plenty of times before and will get explored plenty of times more, and that, yeah, like, I still like this movie. I still appreciate the small scale filmmaking. I still like its exploration of its ideas, and I do think the cast does a good job. It's just not a movie that I love. I like it for what it is, so I'll give The Artifice Girl a 6 out of 10. I do think that Franklin Rich shows some serious talent here. I would like to see where his career goes from here, because I don't know, I got a good feeling about this guy. But what did you think of The Artifice Girl? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned for more videos soon, and Gavin out.